something else.
All right. Welcome to We Are Something Else, episode 195. Knocking on this door, y'all. We almost there. 7-minute drill.
We are something else.
I had to hit that one. All right. Here we are. It's your boy Kaleo. There's CB. There's E-Rich. There's Takeover Trina. There is Sammy. Slayedit. Episode 195. We are something else. 7-minute drill. Now, we had the week off last week. A lot of people want to know where we were at, what we were doing. We'll get to all of that in just a few. But before we get that, let's welcome everybody in. Welcome who's in the chat. We got regular old guy Carter. What's good with you, bro? I hope they're... Bros, beers, whiskey was good. Be easy was good. Yo, let's have some fun. CB, what's good with you, bro?
Life is good in general, man. But I am ready for the weekend. Work has just been it's our busy time of the year in my department. So
yeah,
we're almost there. Tax day is almost here. And once we get through there, things should even out a little bit. But happy to be getting to catch up with all y'all, man. I know y'all got some stories to tell.
Yeah. Britt B, welcome in. Yeah, a lot of stories. Sammy Slayedit, how are you?
I'm good. Recovering, but
okay.
I'm good. When I got back to work was hella hectic, so that's what I'm on.
That's I think that's the word is recovery. Takeover Trina, good to see you. Welcome.
Hey y'all, happy Thursday.
Hollywood Squares. How you been, Takeover? It's been a while.
I know. I've missed you guys. I'm happy to be here this spring, and so
we got the ladies announced tonight. All right, cool. E-Rich, my brother, long time.
Hey, look, man, I put in the comments, man, I didn't realize it was Thursday until you called me. It was like, hey, so you know about the show tonight? And I was like, yeah, that's where we're at with it. It's been a blur.
You're welcome. Yeah, bro. Like, it's been some time. Yeah. So I'm like Sammy. I'm like kind of getting back in the swing of things of what real reality is and what real life is and responsibilities and all that good stuff, because like for the last few days I've been living. Wait a minute, do y'all hear echo? Just let me know that. Okay. For the last few days I was living somebody else's life, it seems like, because it just went by like that and it was amazing. So but we'll get to all that. Let's dive right into it, because it's gonna be an interesting night. It's gonna be a real interesting night. All that said, blah blah blah. Let's wrap. So what we're gonna rap about tonight? Well, let's start with this. Let's rap about this. This is amazing. This is amazing. South Carolina Lady Gamecocks, national champions, defeated Iowa 87-75. What I call the spoiler, because they definitely spoiled Caitlin Clark's crowning achievement, which just seems like what everybody wanted, right? Even we were at a spot, and we'll get there. We were at a spot watching both games last week, and we saw South Carolina win. And we went to another spot, and we saw Iowa get one of the luckiest calls. A call that they shouldn't have happened in that moment of the game and the time frame in which it came. And we saw a call influence how the game ended and put Caitlin Clark in the championship. But to no avail. I mean, I went back to watch the championship, and of course, Iowa came out strong, as most teams do against South Carolina. They're a slow-paced team. They don't get it together till Dawn gets in that ass during halftime and give that Hoosier speech, and then the game just changes. And once that momentum kicks in, and the other team realizes there's nothing they can do about what's getting ready to happen, that's it. But let's go around. Let's talk about this, because Dawn lost a lot of her team last year to the WNBA. It wasn't supposed to be back here in this moment. But not only that, she went undefeated all the way to the end. So let's start, since we haven't had a lady speaking about Takeover. Thoughts on South Carolina Lady Gamecocks?
I mean, I want the media to give them their props, their due respect, and pump their story. You know, I mean, you're talking about history in the making. And what I love about South Carolina's basketball team is that they are a all-star, top-notch team. I mean, everyone can score. Everyone can play defense. Even if you're coming off the bench, they are dropping buckets. So, I mean, it's been great watching them play. They've been unstoppable, a dominant team, and, you know, they're led by Dawn. So I think, you know, they're going to be reigning champs for years to come. At least I hope so. So
They definitely are a powerhouse. CB.
Well deserved. I mean, talk about just an incredible season. Undefeated, right? Like how what they've been able to achieve, what Dawn's been able to achieve. What is it? 3 straight Coach of the Year awards, something like that. Like, it's incredible, man. And it's funny how the tournament itself had so many storylines, right? The women's tournament was so much more intriguing than the men's tournament, right? And it's funny how this South Carolina team that was the best team pretty much all season were overshadowed through most of the tournament. And it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's still, you know, the ball don't lie, right? So well deserved. And I mean, talk about historic. That's what this is.
Okay. Sammy, thoughts?
Y'all know I'm not a sports girly. When you sent me the topics, I was like, Lady Gamecocks. I was thinking, I'm not gonna lie, y'all know I was on that realm. So I was like, what is this kinky shit? So yeah, shout out to them. Y'all already know.
You should be honest, Sammy. Look, that's all you can be. And look, if your answer shout out to them, that's what's up. There you go. How do you follow that, E? How do you follow that?
Walk off the stage? I don't know. Like, I mean, shit. Listen, like you said, you start off, Don lost all 5 starters last year. I think 5 of them went to the league. The 6th person off the bench, she didn't go anywhere. I think she might have played overseas, but I think like she went somewhere else. So you're talking about starting a whole new 5.
Yeah, major jokes.
Right. You got highly recruited freshmen, which again haven't been in a pressure situation before, coming off of, you know, being in a school. I mean, she's created it to where it's like, you know, like the old school, like Duke in North Carolina, where, you know, you're coming into play for a university that everybody's gunning for you every game, right? So there's not a game off. I believe their first game was against Notre Dame in Paris, right? So I think initially you got to look at it. Kendall's must be on that juice today. Kendall's on that juice today. Anyway, but you know, I think that, listen, I mean, when you look at it, how she puts talent together, I think she's always said she's the realest with her kids' parents. You know what I mean? And talking about how they have to be uncomfortable, because you got to realize, like, winning on that level, when you take losses, you can't let that affect you. And you're talking about, she let a freshman play in a game that Kaleo heard me when we was watching the first game. She couldn't hit for shit. Like, she was just like, she was open, but she wasn't hitting for shit. She's a great shooter. She got in the championship game, and I think she ended up, I think she had 19 points. But you look at how she had her points throughout the game, you would have thought that she already knew what, like, that atmosphere was like. You know what I mean? So, lo and behold, like I said, Dawn is definitely top 5 coach of all time in college basketball, and I said that. And you just look at the caliber of people, and then when you realize how many people, I think everybody except for the center is actually headed back to the team next year. So you got You have everybody that was in the national championship able to play again. They're only going to get so you run the same team minus the center, but you still have two other, players that can take her place and still run that type of game.
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah. And I will say, look, no, we were all rooting against Caitlin Clark, right? Me, you, and the fellas, we were like, nah, this thing gonna happen. Dawn gonna have something for that team. Dawn's gonna know how to shut her down. And we got the word that they had lost. And it was like, yes, like, because this was kind of the equivalent to the Taylor Swift thing, right? Everywhere you turn at a Chiefs game, there was Taylor Swift. They made it about her. But I will say, look, Caitlin Clark has skills, a skill set that probably doesn't come here. Yeah, she does have a skill set, right? And she put spotlight on women's basketball this year. That if that was what the object was for her to put, every time you saw her, they talked about her. She broke the scoring title in Iowa, right? So she put a spotlight on women's basketball that may not have been there before, and they used her as that. But Dawn just had the remedy for that spotlight. Dawn should always be in the spotlight because of what she did by losing her whole starting team, right?
For sure. I'm gonna say this: you can definitely you can definitely change the screen after this.
Yeah.
I guess people forgot that before there was Caitlin Clark, there was Diana Taurasi.
Absolutely.
They just didn't have the exposure. They didn't have today's exposure. Diana Taurasi was doing everything and it even had better handles than Caitlin Clark. And she went into the league and still like that. Like that's who they need to pin her up against in regards to, that person or the way that she plays the game. So at the end of the day, we're not talking about it unless they bring up Diana Taurasi and then go look at the stats that she got in the WNBA as far as her 3 points. So
yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and switch this out and let's kind of have a discussion because a few of us were in the same place this past weekend. So for those who don't know, it was this past weekend was the annual trip that me and normally my brothers take. But my other brother was able to join this year as well. And we went to the Dreamville Festival in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I just kind of we're going to tie all this in together, I promise. But I wanted all of us to talk about our experiences from Dreamville, because we may have all had different experiences from going. And those of you who did not go that are on this panel, just fill in when you can. Maybe if you watch it online or whatever, or just talk about, whatever. We'll get there. But I want to spend some time talking about that because we're going to tie it all in. But it's an annual trip. So we took the drive, and it's been about a week, bro. I mean, you got a story alone that you have to share when you get up here. But it's been about a week. It's been a great experience. But before we do all that, I got to give my man his flowers, his props. Shout out to Elijah Shaw, because Elijah Shaw, I've said that name plenty of times on this show. If you don't know who Elijah Shaw is, that's on you. But Elijah Shaw, shout out to you, always putting me and my folks and my brothers in situations that a lot of people would dream to be in. People, if you knew what we kind of think, the experiences we had this past weekend and the access we had, that's because of Elijah Shaw. And shout out to you. And I got some other stories about Elijah, but you'll never know if I'm talking about him now, because I'm not gonna give any names for any stories from here on out. But shout out to you, Elijah. Shout out to Kevin Gee for looking out after us. And then also shout out to Mo Eaton, because Mo was a dope brother too from Baltimore that was on the scene that looked out for us as well. So with all that, let's you don't want to just see and hear me talk. Let's talk about Dreamville.
Was that the golf tournament?
Let's start with Sammy. Let's start with Sammy. What'd you say?
Let's start with Sammy.
Guys, we're gonna start with Sammy. Sammy, I heard you was in the place to be last week. I want you. Let's talk about experiences. Was this your first time going?
Yeah, this is my first experience. It was an experience.
Talk about it. So good, the bad.
Yeah, it started off. I mean, it was pretty good. Started off when we got there. It was a bit hectic parking. The walk to get to the actual park, that's about a mile in itself. the outfits that took a lot. Took a lot to look at. Shout out to them folks that had it hanging out. I mean, I thought I had it hanging out, but they had it hanging out. I can't. Top them. The vibes, the performances, I was down for all the Saturday performances. Everybody from when I got there was on time. Saturday, and the stage I was sitting at, the sound was good, so we were good there. I had a good time. I got drunk, got toe up, experienced the Ferris wheel, the little Casa Club. I don't even know. It was a Casa. It was a Casa. Went in there, got some drinks. Just had a time. Met some new people. They didn't acquire me and Britt as a cousin. So we had a ball.
What was your favorite part or favorite performance?
I mean, outside of J. Cole, even though I feel like he could have done more, sexy. Y'all don't make no faces. Don't be stank. Y'all cannot deny. Get back on this camera, E. Y'all cannot deny that Sexy put on a show. Like she had the energy up. She was a vibe. Like nobody was acting stank. The women and the men's was up there. So I gotta give it to Sexy.
Okay. My brother E. Rich. This was your first experience. You want to tell the story about what it took for you to get there? The Cliff Notes.
All right, Cliff Notes. We'll do the Cliff Notes on the travel, and then I'll go into the same questions that you asked Sammy. So clearly, I flew in from Cali all the way to Baltimore, so me and my brother can link up and make that track. On my way to the and of course the time difference, right? So I flew at night, got in at the next day, if you will. It's early morning. I go get the rental car. Everything seems cool. It's colder than a witch's titty outside. And I'm trying to, maneuver and get at least a decent car. You know what I mean? It's late at night. So get into the whip, put in my navigation, get to where I need to get to. About 20 minutes into the drive, I noticed that the tire pressure icon is up on the car in the center dash. And I was sitting there, I was like, well, maybe because it's just cold as shit outside. You know what I mean? Car ain't really calibrated. I just got in and went, you know what I mean? And I noticed that the tire pressure kept saying, just kept going down. It was, 30, 22, 10, 1. And I was like, damn, okay, I should probably pull over, right? Because now it's a whole thing. Pulled over. It's a complete flat.
First of all, E pulled over in the worst part of town at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Continue.
I know those parts. I'll be all right for a little bit. I used to. That was a quick little stomping ground for a hot second. But that's for another. That's for another story. So I called. I had to call and get them to change the spare. Of course, if anybody knows with rental cars, as soon as you touch the damn rental car, if you do anything to it, you assume all risk and liability for it. So I wasn't having it. Now, mind you, like Kaleo said, it was 2:30 in the morning. I made the phone call. They were supposed to be there in an hour and a half. Lo and behold, an hour and 10 minutes went by. Got a notification that they were on site. Called the people. Was like, hey, just make sure to tell you this is where I'm at. As I was on the phone with the people, and they told me that it looked like it was completed. And I looked back and I noticed that the damn tire still was flat. So I'm trying to figure out how the hell is this completed if I'm still sitting in this damn car at the gas station in the sketch, watching the rats, just rummaging around the trash can and shit. Again, he said I wasn't in the best part of town, so just take heed of what it is. But anyway, so I had to call again, had to get another tow truck, company to come out. Mind you, they had to wait to put the ticket in so that it wouldn't be the same company that was going to get that same call. Hour and 10 minutes later, the dude finally came out, changed the whip. I had to go back to the airport to get a different car. So mind you, now I got to track 40 minutes back the other way just to get the car and then come back to where I was going so that me and bro can get ready. I pretty much saw the sun go up and come down and come back up and we didn't even make it to where we was on our way to Dreamville just yet.
So my end of that is Like we were doing the I did the radio show last week, Thursday night, since we weren't gonna do the pod, right? And so this will tie into the whole Dreamville thing. So while the pod is going on, I see an alert come through on one of the chats that I'm in, and the alert said "You welcome." All right. Well, I had to ignore that while I was doing the show, but I finished up doing the show, and I was like, all right, E should be on flight. I'm gonna finish up. So the alert was that we would have went home. He thought about going home, but anyways, I was like, yo, I'm gonna set my alarm so just in case you can't get in the crib, I'll be awake. So that was like 1:30, and he was supposed to be in there by what, 3:30?
Yeah, it would have got me there at 3:30.
I woke up at 4:30, checked my Ring app. Ain't no rental car outside. Ain't no live person alert at my door. I was like, what the hell? I go downstairs. He's not even here. I contemplated for a second. I was like, wait a minute, he was supposed to have been here. So I text like, yo, you good? He responded right away. He's like, you wouldn't believe this. So whatever. He said what he said. We got on the road. But all in all, go ahead, answer the questions about Dreamville. First
Dreamville. Interesting, you know what I'm saying? For somebody who usually, has the Coachella side of the house, type situation, definitely different type of vibe. Like Kendall said, it's a group, a rhythmic Coachella. First day was cool. I think even with seeing some of the lower, if you will, that didn't get the artists that didn't get that much time. Like it was dope to see Damani go up on stage and do his thing. Of course, JID. I didn't see 50 because I was trying to be posted up for SZA because I really wanted to see SZA for sure.
You got to make a right decision when it comes down to those last two acts. Like, do you want to try to make 50 or do you want to get like position in the field or wherever you're going to be at to see the closing act? And the first night was actually SZA.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, Schoolboy Q had to see the hometown. That was mandatory. He put on a good show. Second day for sure, probably the best performance was Jeezy. I wish that, and not to put it out there was a lot of lateness going on Sunday. Monica kind of threw that set off, and I don't know if somebody threw her off, but it got Jeezy. But listen, for the amount of time that was already over, Jeezy still puts on a good show. I mean, you realize how many hits that that cat got, and it can just go there, which, we did see something that in that performance that made it all worth the while, which would be on Is It Just E, but we'll talk about it shortly.
Yeah.
But nah, and listen, not to down Sexy Red, like I said, she's a performer. Like she's just that's all she is, a performer. Like it's for the ratchet. It's for everybody to just have that moment of whatever. I don't give a fuck. But it was wild to see the masses go out there to watch her, and
it was in custody.
Yeah, that's about it.
So this is my fourth one. This is probably the experience wise, probably the best experience level that I've had at the festival. Show, but performance wise, I think it wasn't. They weren't up to par. Like I said, Monica, that was like 45 minutes late, and she came on and did 5 songs and left. Like they had a lot of shorter time frames this year for a certain reason. And a lot of the acts got between 20 to 30 to 45 minutes to an hour, depending on where you were in the show. Like Q stood out. Schoolboy Q put on the show. Jeezy put on the show. Jid, Boss. We were in a good place to watch Boss. But day 2, right? Day 2 is where all the sound issues really, really happen, right? I can't remember the guy's name that talked about how he would walk off stage. Rema. He would walk off stage if his sound wasn't fixed, and they cut his mic and they get the hell off stage. Like that's what you're gonna do, right? And I will say, so Cole's performance, he opened up with my song. He opened with Crocodile Tears, and just the setting of that, had the sound worked for the first 20 seconds of that song, would have been epic. But the sound was broke for the first 25 seconds of that song. But luckily it picked up when the drum beat kicked in, which is dope about that. So all in all, dope experience again. We got to chill with the homies. Got to meet some great people in real life. Finally, that was a good experience. I'm glad for that. Then got to smoke the hookah. Got some dope experiences out of that. So
y'all was cute with the hookah.
What'd you say?
Y'all was cute with the hookah.
Cute.
I had a bottle of water. That's what I was on. I was still, I still hadn't gone to sleep that whole day, so I was on a bottle of water at that point.
All right. So enough about the festival. So let's start diving into some of these other things. So the Might Delete Later drops, right? And Dreamville typically puts out an album right before the festival or some type of music. Every year it's happened. Might Delete Later was a surprise that happened this year. So let's go around. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Might Delete Later. Do you have a favorite track? Because it's all getting to where everybody wants it to get to. Trust me. But do you have a favorite track? Was it a good surprise for you and all that? Let's start with Takeover. Have you listened to the album Takeover?
I have not, Kaleo. So thank you. Starting with me.
I just want to CB.
What kind of question is that, man? Nah. Favorite song. Honestly, HYB. That joint has gotten a lot of run. And initially, the whole reason why I did I fired it up out of order, and it was because of like I wanted to see what Central C had on there. Because my brother doesn't stop playing that dude around the house. So it's one of those things where I was like, all right, well, let's see what it is. And Boss always brings it. So that joint probably gets it's at least top two in terms of most plays for me from the joint. And I enjoyed it. So I'm still giving it plays through.
Okay. Sammy.
First of all, Bianca is being a menace in this trap.
Aaron Kendall.
Oh no, Bianca gotta go. Get her out the chat. Thanks.
Monica, the deaconess meetings. All right, my bad. Go ahead, Sammy.
Oh no, you good. I don't have a favorite as of yet. I like to fully digest albums. I've only listened to it like 3 times, so I really don't have a favorite yet. There is one song that I'm like, the hell is this? The Dreams? But I'm gonna let it slide. You know, he always got to throw a song in for the bitches, so I'm gonna give him that. But that was the one that just kind of side-eyed. I was like, you've been hanging with Drake a little too much.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I said I was in the middle of last week's show towards the end, and I got the "You're welcome" text. It was actually somebody who had sent me the project, right? I was like, okay, what is this? So I listened to it. And then me and that person kind of text throughout the whole, like kind of listening to the album. Like, yo, did you hear this bar? Did you hear that bar? I'm like, dope album. I have a lot to digest. And it was like, well, you might want to check out 7 Minutes Later. That's the one you've been waiting to hear. I was like, huh? So I'll go to listen to it. We'll get there in a second, though. I didn't tell my Sexy Red story because I know Kendall's waiting on the Sexy Red story. So Kendall, look, me and the folks were on the other side of the park, and I saw.
All right, bro. I'm here all night. Bro.
So we and Ian and other folks on the other side of the park, and we see grown men, grown women haul ass to the other stage, getting ready for Sexy Red's performance. I'm like, this is insane. So then we get to the other side of the park, and I'm looking at grown men, like they're all like in awe of this performance. Like, what in the hell is going on here? This is ridiculous. Like, I was shocked because I'm just watching at this point, 10,000 people, if not more, just know every word to these songs. Like, this is embarrassing. Where are we at as a nation?
Sexy for president. That's where we at.
That's what, yeah. So, whatever. So, anyways, the review of the album, the production of the album is dope. Crocodile Tears is probably one of my favorite ones. Sticks and Stones, because you got Alchemist who did the beat. That's a can't miss. And then the joint that the 3001. That was another one. That was one on the Might Delete Later documentary. All right, so let's get into it. Let's go.
Anissa, stop it. Stop it. Don't you.
All right, let's dive into it. Because there's a few things to unpack here. So a couple weeks back, we all know that Kendrick was featured on the Like That track with Metro Boomin and Future. And Kendrick in that line, in his verse, he blatantly said, is it after Big Three is just Big Me? And we were off from there because the world, or the hip hop world, waited for Drake to respond. Everybody wondered if Cole would respond, right? Because and this is not the first time Kendrick had actually did that. So the whole world waited. And with 7 Minute Drill, 2 weeks later, we got Cole's response. We said we were waiting for some like light-skinned guys. So let's talk about that. Because there's a lot to unpack. So we got Cole's response. And the first thing I want to before we get any deeper than that, 7 Minute Drill as a response record. What are your thoughts about that as far as a response record for those that have listened to it? Takeover, have you listened to it?
Yes. So, okay. So, I mean, Cole, he did what he was going to do, right? I think, he came out strong. What Kendrick, Kendrick definitely had some lines, some bars, but it was nothing that, I was like, ooh, that's Cole. So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. So I definitely feel like Cole, he did that. He had that. And, if you want to jump into the apology, I can talk about that as well.
We'll get there in a second.
Okay.
Just as a response record, let's just talk about that. Sammy, you're a Cole fan. I know you waited for Cole to respond back. What was your thoughts on the response?
I honestly didn't think he was going to respond back.
Same here.
I wasn't really expecting one. But I feel like he did what he needed to do. It was better than Kendrick's 30 seconds on another person's song,
Okay. E.
Nah, I feel like this whole panel is biased at this point. Like this is this shit unfair.
This is your opinion. So go ahead.
No, listen. Nah, but my opinion is it sounded more that K-Dot was going for Drake than he was Cole. Cole was just a bystander in this because of he linked up with Drake. And if you think about it, if you listen to Like That and what he's saying, he has more to say about Drake and more personalized or towards, just, what he's got going on than Cole. He makes Cole references because of references that Cole's made. That they both have done that back and forth for years, right? So we've seen that. However, the Prince lived longer than Mike Jack, that's more of a jab on Drake's behalf than anything else, and everybody can understand.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? The for all the dogs, getting buried, like that, all of that is Drake. Like it was more, I think people viewed it more for Cole because we realized Cole is definitely more lyrical and we view him higher than what he's not singing on tracks like Drake.
Good analysis.
Come on, man.
That's a good analysis.
But we're talking about 7 Minute Drill. I think that listening to it did not register for me in that sense because he was barking at his catalog. And unfortunately, it don't add up. You know what I mean? That's like saying, like, damn, you got a championship, but nobody, like, you got an asterisk by it. Like, nobody's going, nobody celebrates that. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I listened to it a few times. We've talked about it. But in all fairness, I think it was good for hip hop in the moment. which is why when we talk about the next thing, I didn't see it coming, but also, you know, I didn't think he was going to say anything. I like in that sense where I felt like he was going to generate a full song. I thought it was going to be what they've always done.
Yeah.
On a song, a jab or two, but really the whole song wasn't about that situation. So
yeah. CB.
It definitely was. It felt like a situation where Cole was catching strays. That's kind of how he ends up getting rolled into it. Even though you can find plenty of videos on YouTube that are, you know, they'll talk about, you know, jabs here and there going back for years, and it's like, all right, but I wasn't expecting it. It definitely was a surprise. Like, but then at the end of the day, I had to remember that Cole's actually has like mixed it up with some people over the last couple of years, if for no other reason than for the sport of it. Because he was doing that for a while when he wasn't putting albums out. You know what I mean? So I thought overall it was good for the it was almost like if we were going to get this battle between the two, this was like the bubbling up, right? Because from Kendrick, it wasn't like incredibly direct shots. You know what I mean? Like just saying there's no big three, it's just big me. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you feel that way. And it just so happens to be played off of Cole's verse or whatever. But, you know, him and Kendrick and Drake actually have like personal shit between each other. So it's one of those things where I was excited. The competition of it and the fact that both of these guys, for a lack of a better example, this was not going to be Drake Meek Mill. You know what I mean? We're talking about like both guys with incredible lyrical ability. So I was just looking forward to there being a back and forth. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah,
I was one of those people. I didn't think he would respond. I didn't think Cole would respond. And so let's talk about the response. The response to me, I think, again, I'm biased, but I'm also a hip hop fan, so I can be real with a lot of things. I think I got caught up in the response because I'm like, oh shit, he responded. And then like I still listen to it. I'm like, okay. I thought it was a good response because I didn't think we were gonna get anything, right? I just thought it was gonna just be whatever because it really has nothing to do with me. So then if you break down the lyrics, yeah, again, he attacked the catalog, which we knew was a lie. I mean, everybody, even Cole knew that the bars he said about the catalog was a lie because what he did Saturday or Sunday night kind of solidified he knew it was a lie. The beat was dope with the beat switch in the middle, and you got a conductor on out as a production person. I'm like, damn, that's a cold ass beat. And it felt like, and I was telling E all weekend, it felt like it was the Jay verse on Is That Your Bitch? Where Jay didn't actually say Nas's name. You knew who he was talking about. But Jay was letting you know I'm bubbling up. Like if we want to go there, we can go there. But the thing again about Jay and Nas, they had personal beef. It had gotten to the personal level over a bunch of different reasons. Kendrick and Cole have no beef. This is like somebody making me fight CB for no reason. I don't want to fight CB. CB doesn't want to fight me, but everybody around me wants to fight CB. So here's my next question. What is the bar for the response? Because a lot of people didn't like the response. And a lot of people didn't like the response because I don't know. What do you want Cole to say? Do you want, besides attack this man personally, go after his family and his kids? Like, what else is they going to say? There is no legit beef between me. What am I going to say? So what was the bar in the response? Like, what was the measuring stick? What did y'all want to hear? For those who didn't like the response, what was you waiting to hear?
Yes, tiny calves like CB. That's a person, but no. So listen, it's a personal jab, but it's not like to the effect like it's a funny bar, but it's also like something that the two of them, right? Because I feel like if you look at it, right? Like I think what you and I talked about this, right? It's like if two guys that actually that don't have any problems with each other and actually kind of have a solid, admiration
mutual
about each other
respect.
on the side.
Yeah.
Right. What can I say other than I'm always gonna say like I'm better than you in such and such, you know what I mean? And then the back and forth is you're gonna say you're better than me in something else, you know what I'm saying? Like Stevie might have hit 72, but I got pictures that show that I might have 86 on the little basketball game at somebody's house. We don't know that, but I can say that, and that's a jab to him. That then that's just the personal thing. But like I said, I think it was more so that it was the way that it happened. We weren't checking for a Future and Metro Boomin album. We saw the feature happen, the beat, everything. It was the combination. Like he had that energy that Pac had when it came to a response, because it was very just upfront. It was right. It was the beginning of the song. It wasn't you had to wait to the end of it to hear that last little jab. The whole entire thing was like that. And Cole, like I said, he's just not I'm gonna do a whole album or a whole verse or a whole, record about it. So, like I said, I think it's one of those, not to go sideways with this, but Drake's gonna say something out of his mouth and it's gonna cause K-Dot to really be get on this shit. And that's what I think we should be, kind of looking forward to. Not saying that we want to hear Drake sing or anything that he's got to say, because it is what it is. And what did bro say? Drake's a humble body. You know what I'm saying? Like he still dresses like he's homeless. Like he dresses like a dad. You know what I'm saying? He rides bikes in New York. You know what I mean? Like he still does the things that like a normal person does. So I don't think it was the energy that was coming off in that situation of he was about to go in there and just create a moment.
All right. So before we move on, because this is the last part of it. We're at 7-minute drill. Now let's take it to Sunday night. Cole's performance right before Love Yours comes on. Cole says he has to address something. He said he loves the vibe of Might Delete Later, except one song of Might Delete Later, and it was a 7-minute drill, because he felt like his response was egged on by his peers, his boys. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And so he felt that his response was egged on by his friends, and something that he necessarily didn't want to do, because he said he was at a peaceful state in his life, and that was compromising his peace. So we've all been in a situation before where we refuse to sacrifice our peace for chaos for other people. So what's the price of your peace to please others? Let's talk about that. And let's talk about how you felt about what Cole did. Sammy, you were there.
I actually I had to go to the restroom because I was drinking too much, and then I walked out on him apologizing. In the moment, I was like, what the hell is he doing? Like, in the moment, it was pretty wild to me. But like when you think about it, it's facts. Like if something is not sitting right with you, like something you doing to appease to other people, shit, stand on what you need to stand on for your peace and for your sake. So, I mean, I feel like his peace was worth whatever fan is disappointed, it was worth it. So he could sleep good at night, because he said he was losing sleep. Hell no, I ain't losing sleep.
And let's be real. The hip hop world and community are upset. They're upset that he made a choice and stood on his choice. Everybody wanted to see them beef or battle. He didn't want it. He doesn't want to. But everybody else is upset. Why are you upset? It's hip hop, but the man made a decision he has to live with, and a decision that at this point, end of the day, still one of the top rappers. Because anybody says he's not, try to outbar him. He showed up the very next night in New York and got love at a Boss concert, even though he didn't know the words to his verses. The fall off is still coming. So go ahead, take over. Price for your peace.
I mean, see, this is the thing you have to understand. A peaceful person can turn dark very quick and play the game better. Okay. I think I can be like that, So you don't want to test those
Capricorns.
That's right. You don't want to test those type of people. But I mean, I feel like, just what he said. Cole, he's at peace. He doesn't want to, I think he doesn't want to be a part of something that can keep going on, keep brewing, and turn into who knows what. I mean, this is a beef, hip hop beef. So it should just stay at that, right? You don't want it to get into anything violent. But I think that Cole is the type that he knows, like, yeah, I'm that man. I got it. So I really don't have anything to prove. So I think that's set in,
CB.
I mean, in terms of the price for my piece, like one of the things that I've really noticed is it's changed as I've gotten older. I actively make decisions nowadays to preserve my piece. So, it's one of those things where I don't fault the man or anything, but my own piece is very valuable.
I see. Okay.
Hold on, preach, CB. Keep going. Listen, I think that's what it is. Not to go over that shit right there. Like that's put it to you like this. If it sounded like it was that moment where it's like somebody that I know or that I'm tied to is having beef with somebody else, and like you said, he caught the stray. I ain't got no problems with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like I'm good, you know what I mean, and what I do, but let's not mistake this. Like your real concern is this other dude right here. You know what I'm saying? And for him still not to, we're getting to that funny style where like that diss track should have already been circulated by now if it's coming from Drake. Like you ain't got that much time to curate a whole damn video plus the song. It just don't. That ain't how this goes.
All right.
Yeah, she get to the cash when she walk. She look like a bad when she walk. She get to the cash when she walk. She look like a bad when she walk. Girl, do it.
All right. Miss Sammy Slayedit here with Baddie Behavior. Welcome. All right, Sammy.
All right, we're about to get into it.
Behavior.
All right. Okay, y'all. Now, I know that you've probably seen me in a pair of these. I know it. But at this time, this is a baddies what the fuck moment. Okay. At what point in the temperature, in the seasons, do we let fur boots go? Okay, I saw, and it was kind of chilly. I'm gonna give them that. I saw absolutely too many fur boots at the festival, walking around in them dirty porta potties. I know you got piss on them fur boots. I know you did. And it just didn't sit well with my spirit. So I'm looking at all the baddies that were in the fur boots. If you were at Dreamville and you had fur boots on, what the hell? What the fuck? Like, why were you in those? There was no reason to have those on. I'm still thinking about those moments in the porta potty because I know they was nasty. They were really nasty. And I just know, like, the little fur on the boots just dripped down and it unsanitized, everything, unethical. Throw them boots away. If you wore them boots to Dreamville, throw them away. Nothing else. It didn't sit right with me. It didn't.
Sammy, they were trying to, wear them boots and for the temperature, dropping at night, I guess. I don't know.
It was for the temperature was rising and falling and rising and falling. But like I wore those same boots when I went to New York and it was raining and my boots were soaked. So I know that when they went to those porta potties, like I went to one porta potty and I saw the bottom of that porta potty. No, let's not.
All I'll tell you what we can do, though. We can order DC Shot Pie this weekend. Save 10%, WRSE10. Let's use our code. Hit up the great people at DC Shot Pie, the official pizza. We have something else podcast. Shout out to Grant. Look at that. Steak and cheese. Shout out to Margaret. Look at that. Salmon pesto, cheese. All what was that? Drop the bomb bread pudding. Big chair. Georgetown. Yeah. So save 10% this weekend at the DC Shy Pie. You can go to IG, type in the DC Shy Pie. Tell them we are something else sent you. Say Sammy is pissed. You know what? Hold on real quick. You know real quick. Them boots, Sammy. You know what them boots were? I feel the rain. 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 It's raining all over me. I'm moist. I'm moist. Call and response, I said I'm moist. I'm moist. Good God, I'm moist. I'm moist. Yes, I am. Rain all over me. I'm saturated. I'm saturated. I'm saturated. I'm saturated. We ain't gonna do that. Tell them what's up.
All right, so we're gonna keep it everything Dreamville. Again, everybody knows that when you're in Dreamville or at a concert or something like that, there's always contraband that's always snuck into the parks. And one of the things that the ladies have done so well at is sneaking in alcohol. Whether it's, in different forms, fashions. I believe there's, you can even go online in Amazon. They have like the little fake sunblock, you know what I mean? Throw a little bit of alcohol in there. Some other ones, that give out, just the effort of I'm trying to, enjoy myself without having to pay park prices. You dig? During the Jeezy set, however, there was a situation that we saw that my statement, or should I say my comment for the week or for that weekend was there was a lot of females out there making their mamas proud. And if you see this picture, there's actually something very, very just that stands out. There is a young lady that's got a backpack on that has a water bottle. And then there's this lady next to her who got the whole fucking Lubriderm bottle. Now, this is not one of those. You cannot buy this off of anybody's website and put the alcohol. This is the actual Lubriderm bottle that this somebody done put in from. She used the rest of it before the festival. She probably thought she cleaned it out, but the immediate thought process is there is still some Lubriderm film in that damn bottle, and she is drinking it and having a good old time with herself. Is it just is the ratchetness was at its all-time high, and this wasn't even at the damn Sexy Red performance. This was that Jeezy shit. You dig? So
it was moisturized.
it was terrible. Like we saw that, and it just kept getting worse. Like every time I look at it, it just makes me feel like at some point in time she's going to the clinic because she needs to have them pump her stomach because she for sure got Lubriderm going down the wrong way. But anyway, that's is it just either the ratchetness. I mean, have y'all seen stuff like this at concerts? I mean, like I said, they already have the other bottles that are set up for that. Sammy may or may not know anything about that. I'm not sure. Trina, I haven't been to a festival or a concert with you, so I'm not going to put that in your business like that. You know what I mean?
So my mother-in-law, shout out to her. She actually bought me a flask umbrella. Okay, I haven't used it yet, but I don't know. The Lubriderm is just never that serious. It's just not that serious. I'm sorry.
The crazy thing is, I know your mother-in-law, and I know who you're talking about. All right.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Anything?
I mean, shout out to the youth for being so creative, man. I don't know.
If we could put this effort into something else, then we are creative. If we could put the effort into anything else,
Right.
like sneaker design, the sneaker department right now, they're hurting. All right, CB, what you got for that copper chop this week, bro?
It's only right. They are dropping a bunch of Kobe's this weekend. So we have the 4 Philly, the 6 Italian camo, and the 8 Venice Beach. I think in general, a lot of people will be going for these as to be expected. But assuming you can pick only one, which one of these actually is your favorite of the bunch? For me personally, the 8 is one of my favorite like models in general. That silhouette I like better than the 4 and the 6. So that is the one that I am most excited about. But these are all dropping on sneakers on Saturday, all priced at $190. So yeah, let's hear what y'all think.
Okay, so I love all things color, rainbow color. So I'll take the rainbow color pair. Reminds me of summer, just fun, sherbet, sherbet, ice cream, whatever. So the rest of them, chop.
All right.
I'm actually going with that. That's camo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I would want to make the red pop out and do a little something. So I would go with that, and then possibly, go with the colorful one. Those blue ones can stay where they at.
Eagle said the same thing.
I mean, only because I can't wear the blue ones at certain locations, but I'm gonna go with the Venice Beach joints for real. But shout out to Kith as well as I'm on my ear because I'm in all of these raffles for all these damn shoes. It probably will be broke after if I do hit on more than one pair. So
we can only hope.
That part.
The way my pockets are set up after Dreamville, it had to be this pair, right? The here, the
Venice Beach.
Venice Beach, so I'm going for them. For I think probably in the order. That's how I would go if I had opportunity. But yeah, those would probably be the way to go. Real quick, Sean Xavier said that alcohol tastes like eczema. And then Jigman said she MacGyver the alcohol container. Yeah, if we can put our brains together to do other productive things, we'd be amazing. All right, let's see where we at now. Let's do shoe and tell. I'll go first.
Kendall won't be wearing them shoes on Slauson and Normandy going to any of those food places.
All right, Adidas, everybody knows this box, but CB said I didn't show him, so I figured I'll show him right now. We talk about Soul Links finds all the time. This was a $30 pair of Adidas. These are which ones? These are the Spartans, right? Spirited 2000s, $30. I wore these the day at work. They're silver, and then the parts that look clear are really green because the camera you can't see it. But yeah, look, a dope pickup, $30. Anything that's $30 and under as a sneaker, you might as well cop it, especially Adidas like this. So that's all I got. CE.
Shout out to another pair of airships. Won't he do it? Again, gonna drop the sales shoestrings in here. Again, that nice soft leather, that green that they have on here is definitely dope. Again, they just knocked it out the park with this one again. Yeah, definitely. I think this is a staple album on your pair as far as Air Ones when they do the airships. So you can't go wrong with this.
Okay.
Okay, so you gotta love the box that says shoebox on there. Hope you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't point, but so rest in peace to Virgil. I'm gonna hit y'all with something for the summertime, and I'm gonna rock these, nice bikini 2-piece, and I'll stay tuned. I'll post some pics and let you know how I style them. So
Be easy, shoe, and fashion report.
I also want to know: was he in the room? Did he hear you mention 2-piece?
She done talked about his mama, and then she done talked about.
it's payback. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh shit.
I'm Heather. So I am bringing y'all the Hoochie 11s. Hoochie 11s. Very nice heel sandals. These are what you want to bring in the spring, bright colors. And yeah, they're comfortable. And ladies, you should be able to walk in them. You don't walk in heels often. These should be good. You might be all right.
Get you to be about what, like 5 foot what now? Like after you were, is it a height restriction? No, I'm asking, right? Because I feel like there's like a height restriction on like those type of no, all right.
No height restriction.
I didn't tell anybody about these, but
oh shit, okay.
Adidas did this, or they're in the midst of doing a like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pack.
And this is quiet about those.
And this is cool because this back part, actually, I haven't opened it up yet, but there's like a commemorative comic book that came with these. There's like 3 different sets of laces. The details are cool, man. Shell toes for shell toe. And they're coming out with a Master Splinter pair too, and I think those look pretty dope, like in terms of the details too. So shout out to, that's like my first Adidas cop in a little bit.
Okay. All right, that was dope. Let's get rid of this. Let's go back up here. Wow. Noise. Well, look, that's pretty much all that we have to offer tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed. We took a kind of a detour in the normal format of the show, just to switch it up, do something different, have kind of a round robin. We'll get back to the news, or not so much the news, next week, I believe. And you know what? Next week is next week the 3rd Thursday of the month. It is. Oh, we're supposed to be unveiling a new segment next week. All right, hold on, wait a minute. Shout out to that. I got to check in with that person to make sure that's still happening. It's been a while. Whoops. I'm going to check in right after the show. But no, we appreciate everybody for chiming in, all that good stuff. Tomorrow, find me at least in the Kindle B Morning Show on Station Head, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. We were all rooting for you. Look, still rooting. And then after that, the Abstract returns. Me, WRC presents the Abstract with me, your boy Kaleo. I got to put the playlist together because I haven't done anything. But we want to thank Miss Sammy Slayedit, Baddie Behavior, who was supposed to be here last week, but she was on the same assignment we were last week. So we made up for it this week. We had 2 ladies, and then Takeover Thursdays. We'll take over Trina.
Used to be Takeover.
Appreciate you. But that's it. I appreciate everybody for watching. Y'all were amazing in the comments, and we'll be back here next week with or without a new segment that I may or may not have forgotten about and promised you tonight.
Sounds about right.
Hold on, here we go. There's one more thing to say.
Follow us on YouTube at WRSC Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.